Okay, this is about me and about who I am for you guys to realize. I suffer from depression. Basically, I get I'm on depression pills and hyperactivity pills. So basically that's what it is. When you're on HDD pills, you might have to take the pills just so you don't get hot flashes. And yes, I have experienced hot flashes. They are not fun. They feel like you're burning up inside. And yes, I take my time when I'm doing my mod videos lately. I'm at 234 subscribers as I had just looked at. And I have some other plans later on. But don't worry, I'll keep on going. That's the thing is, even though I get depression, I'll push through because I have a goal which I have set. And yes, I will keep on moving along. I can basically, I'm a workaholic. I love working. If you wonder why I don't go work at a regular job, I had a guy named Jeremy show up to two of my jobs in a row, and he was trying to find out where I was going to be working next, just to get there to spread bad rumors about me. And my friend found out he was doing that at my second job. And if you wanted, this guy is a drunken idiot who will go to the bar all night and drink all night. If you're given half a chance, he'll spend all his wife's money on alcohol. And he would talk about alcohol all day. He even said he was an alcoholic and a smoking guy. And the thing is, it was all over my ex-girlfriend who I gave roses to. I even bought her a TV, 40-inch, I think it was almost a 48-inch 4K TV, out of my own cash, which I did not have a lot at that time. And we had broke up, and she was getting married. And so he would tell me he cared. He bragged about her all the time. I could care less because I wasn't with her anymore. I had no more feelings. I told him several times, but he wouldn't listen. And there was other stuff happened later on. But that's all in the past. I don't even talk to her. She doesn't even have my current phone number. My current phone number is a completely different one than what she had. And even if I would try to talk to her, she has a new phone number anyways. Because of something else. Trust me, I did not do anything to her. Zero. I haven't talked to her since the day I told her I'd break up. Because I was headed because she was a gold digger. Because when I lost all my money at one point, she decided to leave me and was going to have me give $1,500 to a random guy in New York, or basically a scammer, just so he could have food because he had muscles. And all she had was pictures of him. Yeah. She believed the scammer over her original boyfriend, who was in martial arts at one time, and thinking I was going to spend my money on some scammer. I didn't bother. I just had her change her phone number, and that's all. Basics. Because I'm not giving a scammer not even a penny. Because frankly, I did not know the guy. I could tell when he was showing pictures of military, like going out on special ops, that the only way he's going to get some of these pictures is to be the photographer. And he was eating from canned food in the military out there. You're not eating out of canned food. They're providing everything in the military. I know people who are in the military. And I've watched a lot of military stuff. Either way, which way, that's that part. And yes, I've done a lot of different things in my life. And because of Jeremy, I basically became full-time on YouTube after that point. Because if I would try to find another job or even go back to my original job, he might try to get back there again. Even though he was a drunk and he did hurt that Dairy Queen quite a bit by doing what he did. I'm not going to say. And he was, if you would say an employee, he would be your employee you would fire in no time. Only reason why you'll keep him is because of his talking. Literally. That's the only reason. Otherwise, he was a pile of trash worker. I worked with him a few times when I was working with him at a different job. He wasn't that good. Even with me not in my heyday or at my peak, I could outperform him, and I am like basically got both my knees hurting. I had a brace on my arm here because every time I fired a nail gun, it would hurt. And he had me firing a nail gun, even though there was nothing wrong with him. Basics. He was perfectly healthy, but he kissed up the boss so much that they allowed him to take days off. If I missed one day at my one job, I would be fired, even though they needed me. And the funny thing is, after I quit and went to my other job, because that's how much I was fed up with that job, they wanted me back. I literally just threw the towel in one day, and I had just got my new job, and they are trying to get me back. They had to try to have a party there just to see if I would come back. And the stuff that the person who, not the owner, but the person who was running it said, made me laugh. For other people, they would probably sue him. Literally for what he said. But I didn't bother because I wanted nothing to do with him. And there would be no evidence because I had no recording. So my word against his, and zero lawyer versus him paying for a lawyer, because his father would probably buy a lawyer if anything else, and I would be drilled into the concrete and probably have to get paid. I may have to pay for the lawsuit if they would do that. So I decided there was no point. I had no evidence. Maybe some people may back me up, but not very much. But after that point, I basically became working on YouTube completely, did everything, and basically worked on this channel. And yeah, it may seem like I have a lot of cash. Actuality, I just save money wherever I can. Like, I make macaroni and cheese hot dish with spaghetti sauce, with fire roasted tomatoes that I get. They're both great value. The hamburger I get is actually from the food shelf. It's actually pretty decent. And then just to make the hamburger taste even better, I will cook the hamburger on low on the stove. Like, if your thing goes from 1 to 10, it'd be a 3 or a 3.5, or like a 3.5. And I'll leave it there for like 45 minutes to an hour, just simmering there in its grease. I don't add any water. And then after it's basically done, or almost completely, at this last batch, I chop it up. First, I'll drain all the grease off because it's basically a bunch of water still because it's barely steamed. And then I basically chop the hamburger up in there without the grease after I washed it out a few times. And presto, the hamburger is nice and golden brown. And then the same big pan I'm using, I'll fill it up with water again after I moved all the hamburger out onto a plate and scraped it and put that into the oven, but without the oven on, because really it doesn't really have to be, because I'm going to cook the noodles right afterwards in the same pan with the old grease, whatever left of the grease, in the pan. I don't even wash it out. I don't even clean the pan because it has burnt on meat on the base of it. And then I boil hot water. I already had heated up already hot through the water faucet. It's already hot. And then I make the noodles. And then I try the noodles a few times, and then the noodles are like perfect to my standards. Then I drain it and I throw it in the big container I got from the Dollar Tree. Going to cost $1 for a big container. I can't find them anymore. And then when I'm making the mac and cheese, I add what milk I get. The milk I use is actually from my my Meals on Wheels. Much of it I don't drink, so I throw it because I'm not going to freeze it anymore. And then I mix what I'm supposed to. I don't even add butter because I don't want the extra fat. And then I'll add chili seasoning pack you find at Walmart. The only reason I use that because it's pre-made, and I don't feel like trying to mix the seasoning together, and I just want a pack right then. And I'll add some other seasonings I have on hand. I'll first make the cheese with the meat, and then I'll add all the other seasonings together, and then add the can of fire roasted tomatoes to it. And afterwards, the bottle of Great Value spaghetti sauce, because it has little chunks, just to keep the price down. And if anything else, like maybe a can of Great Value nacho cheese, or is it Campbell's? More likely it's Campbell's. I haven't used it for a while. And with all the seasonings, it tastes really darn good. And if anything else, if I want to, I'll just throw some toast into the toaster and add it straight to the bread. I'll heaping them on top. And if I really want to make it nice and not thin, I'll take a pack of crackers. I think those are cheesy crackers you can buy at Walmart with like 2 pieces of cracker with a piece of like this dried type of cheese in the center of it. They're really cheap. I'll crush that up in the package before opening and put that into the bowl, and then add the macaroni and cheese straight to it and mix it up and throw that in the microwave. And then I'll put that on a piece of bread and then eat the rest. And if I want to, for Mother's Day, I'll just cook a steak in the oven because I have steaks from the food shelf. Once it gets too old, I'm going to be throwing the steaks because they're just going to get too old. I'm thinking about buying one of them things you can get to make sausages later on. I just have to save up some money. I'm thinking about buying it. Problem is, where am I going to put it? I'm almost out of space. Just so I can make more hamburger. Because I get that, I'm just thinking I can make more hamburger out of the steaks I get, thaw them out for a day, and then make hamburger out of that too. I should actually save money. Maybe that before the computer. Just to save extra and make hamburgers out of it, and maybe even make chicken hamburger. And then wash that out in not the dishwasher, but other thing. I try my best to save money, and that's the key. And that means I have money for other things like the new printer that I'm getting in soon. I didn't buy a super expensive one, but at least it's better than nothing. And I also was a Boy Scout at one time, so basics. You learn a lot of different things in scouting. I can't even sleep on the ground anymore. My bed is too comfortable. I used to sleep on the concrete wall. I used to sleep on concrete, essentially. You can imagine with very little padding and you versus the ground. In a tent. For 7 days. For 6 days, because I think it's 7 days or 6 days. I don't remember. Yeah, we camped out in the camps. A lot of things were at that time. I haven't went camping for years. But yeah, basically that's what is going on. I have depression. I even have hyperactivity. But otherwise, I have the will to live. No matter what. And that's what keeps me going no matter what. And also, other things is the reason why I will keep moving ahead. I know I have to do YouTube because, frankly, That's just the way I was meant to do it. I'll have to cut this part down. Have a good day. Remember, some people have it worse than other people because they might have a bad life. Oh, and this thing right here, I bought that online. This. It doesn't show right. I bought it online on Amazon. The new printer is going back there because I'm probably going to buy a different printer similar to it for some other objects that I plan to do, but not just yet because I can't do that kind of printing yet. But this one is going to be for pictures and documents and that, because it's just going to be better that way. Otherwise, you guys have a great day. Have a good day.